So there it is, out of work for the final time. Won't be returning for 6 weeks or so, which means I can get started with my running schedule beginning tonight. It's about 3 o'clock now, so I'll probably head out about 7 and I'll let you know how I get on.
I'm just home at the moment, waiting for a sensible time to run. It's a Friday night, there's a lot of traffic around. I just really can't get out there until after 7, just because of the route that I take. I could switch up the route, but it looks like rain is imminent, and what I don't want to do is find myself out in the middle of nowhere when it's pouring down. Not that it's necessarily going to pour down, but I think just playing it safe tonight, having a little bit of security there, that if I need to get home I can. And we'll just see how we go. To be perfectly honest with you, I think the job's caught up with me, and when you sit down, sometimes it's not always a good idea, because you just kind of rest and relax into it, and you start to feel a little bit less motivated and enthusiastic about heading back out and doing something active. But I'm just going to override that with some fresh air, because I think, and I know once I'm out there, even if it's just a light run that isn't what I expected it was going to be earlier, it's not a problem. Sure, I'd love a long run, I'd really enjoy it, but I don't know, this is the end of the week, and as I mentioned a few times now in the last couple of videos, I've got 6 weeks off. So that 6 weeks is going to provide me with so many opportunities to do some decent runs that I think it's good just to remind myself not to put too much pressure on every day to achieving the most and the maximum and all of these things, because that only serves to put pressure on my body and therefore cause potential injury, when I should just be relaxing, responding to how my body feels. So if I'm feeling tired, so be it. I've had 2 late nights in a row and busy times, really busy times. So we will just wait now for the clock to strike 7, and then we can start to get prepared and head out on the road and see how we get on.
Just finding a nice consistent rhythm at the moment as I'm approaching 1k. Feeling good at the moment, so fingers crossed this continues. It's completed 5k in under 28 minutes. Not my fastest time, but consistent also. So the plan is to keep going. When I finish this loop, I'll be at about 7k, and I'll see what condition I'm in at that point. I don't want to overdo it, but obviously it's nice to reach that 10k mark as consistently as I can at the moment. So we'll just see how things go.
Okay, so I'm home, I've had a chance to do some recovery, get some nutrition, and do all the things I normally do to keep myself kind of fit and healthy, and in as best condition as I can. And just analysing the data now. So 7k is where I stopped, which took me around the loop that I run twice, in 39:39, so not my quickest time. But interestingly, I had a couple of kind of personal records on a few sections, a lot of second fastest times, my third fastest 5k, and I've run quite a lot of 5ks, so that sort of sits quite nicely in my most recent 5ks, and shows me that clearly my condition and ability and stamina has improved to a point where even on a relatively, what I would call a poorer day, I'm still achieving a 5k that not so many weeks ago would have been maybe my fastest time ever. So overall, I'm really pleased. The reason why I kind of stopped as well is because I started to feel a bit of fatigue in my right ankle and then my left calf, and I could have got to 10k, but it would have just been quite unnecessary to carry on, and I don't need to be pushing myself at all. This is not racing conditions where I feel like I need to put everything on the line. So I just decided to kind of round up tonight with a 7k. I thought it was quite a good distance for me. Nice to be able to do that at the end of quite a busy week, and a week where I've had all sorts of things going on, some late nights as well. So overall, pleased with it, and there's always room for improvement. I felt like I got into my pace quite quickly, which is always good for me, because sometimes I will occasionally struggle with that. The first K can be a bit rusty. But and so once I found my stride and my pace, I was really able just to settle into it and start to really enjoy it, which is what I'm really loving at the moment. The fact that I've gone from being somebody who is running and has a real will to do well, but it's a bit of a stretch and a bit of a strain. And there are some days where it's not the most fun in the world, or hasn't been the most fun in the world. But now I'm at a point where I just love the running. I head out. I'm comfortable at the 5K distance, which is brilliant. And if I do nothing else, I'm very satisfied. Anything more than 5K is brilliant. If I get to 10K, I'm elated. And the next step for me is moving it towards anything above 10. 12, 13, 14, 15K, something like that. Because, I've got obviously plenty of time before the marathon. But the idea, I suppose, for me now is working to a point where I can be competitive against my own times in the marathon. I'm not really interested in what anybody else is doing. However, I'd like to get to a point where I can have an idea, a goal or a target of what I think I could do a marathon in, so that I can train towards that. And at the moment, obviously, the kind of running that I'm doing, the distances I'm doing, don't really give me a true measure of my ability over a larger distance. So it's something to work on. But hey, in the next couple of weeks, we'll see how we get on. So a positive end to a good week for me.